What are you talking about? If anything, Ohio is deeply compromised and directly connected to Jeffrey Epstein, given Les Wexner is like one of the top affiliates. Ohio is big time compromised here.
Or in New York City. The secrets of Jeffrey Epstein remain tightly guarded, but earlier this year, I spearheaded a wired investigation that uncovered the data of phones belonging to visitors to his infamous island. The data was so precise, we were able to map the paths of these visitors to within centimeters, including their neighborhoods, buildings of origins, and the paths they took to get to the island. These digital trails...
I'm gonna Brian kill me if one more person says the annoying orange says release the files on IG, but it's legit orange is actually based. What are you saying, dude? I don't care about what the annoying orange is saying. Who gives a you goddamn faillennial? Oh my God. Who cares, man? Jesus Christ, it's 2025. Shut the fuck up.
Document the numerous trips of wealthy and influential individuals seemingly undeterred by Epstein's status as a convicted sex offender. Wired's analysis of the data is ongoing, and it raises profound questions about privacy and surveillance. This is Epstein Island's secret data on the grid. This is Little St. James, aka Epstein Island. These red dots on the map represent some of the 11,279 coordinates I obtained. They were left exposed online by a location data broker with ties to the Defense Department called Near Intelligence. Between 2016 and Epstein's final arrest in 2019, Near collected data on more than 200 cell phones that visited the island. We don't know why they did that or which client or prospective client of Near decided to query the data in this way to produce the maps. But the maps you'll see in this video show where visitors to Epstein Island spent most of their time. Let's take a step back. You might be wondering, where is Epstein Island anyways? Well, it's here. Little St. James is a private island that is part of the U.S. Virgin Islands, an unincorporated territory of the United States in the Caribbean Sea. Epstein purchased Little St. James in 1998 for $7.95 million. It's about 71 acres, the size of 54 football fields. He made the island his primary residence and soon after began welcoming visitors and throwing infamous parties where he was accused of having groomed, sexually assaulted, and trafficked untold numbers of women and girls. The maps of the data collected by Near, and which we at Wired recreated here, indicate the most visited.
The guy had a real eye for real estate, man. Just like he was brilliant. He was a brilliant quant. That's why he had billions of fucking dollars that some of the wealthiest individuals in society gave him. Like literally just gave him. For example, Les Wexner, who famously gave him power of attorney over his entire fortune, for example. You know? Nothing weird here. Please do not ask any silly questions. Okay? You don't understand. This guy was just brilliant at math. Okay? He was so good at math. Yeah, everyone went to him for tax advice. And also just advice in general. He was just a brilliant sage, a wise sage.
Spots on the island. From the main house here with the pool, to the beaches and the large sundial, it's all on display, including the enigmatic Hilltop Temple site over here, which has been the focal point in speculations about Epstein's mysterious activities on the island. But the tracking of phones wasn't contained to Little St. James. Surveillance continued long after the visitors left. The data reveals the locations of visitors 30 minutes before and after arriving on the island, which shows us the exact routes everyone took to get there. Some landed here, at the Cyril E. King Airport on neighboring St. Thomas Island. With its private jet and VIP terminals, it was the go-to hub for Epstein's 200-seater Boeing 727 plane dubbed Lolita Express. We see data points clustered at various area beaches, hotels, and luxury resorts, including the Ritz-Carlton Hotel here. To get to Epstein's Island, many visitors got on a boat at a designated dock at the American Yacht Harbor, a private marina on St. Thomas co-owned by Epstein at the time. From there, we see a flow of movement through Great St. James Island, the larger island just to the north, which Epstein purchased in 2016 for $22 million. He had hoped to develop it, but was met.
Yes, you guys didn't know it was called Lolita Express? Come on, chat.
With legal challenges after damaging the island's coral reefs and protected habitats. The data then traces visitors' movements as they are ferried to Epstein's private dock on Little St. James. Epstein also had a helipad on the island and owned at least one helicopter, a Sikorsky S-76, to transport himself, guests, and victims from the airport or elsewhere, according to legal documents and testimony. It's worth noting that the data reveals a regular flow of traffic to and from Little St. James between 2016.
I don't care that the Elmo account tweeted about the Epstein files. What is wrong with people? Yes, we saw chatters. What the f is going on? Dude, you have to watch. Dude, Shane Dawson tweeted about HasanAbi. At HasanAbi, Shane Dawson tweeted about release the Epstein files. HasanAbi, you have to cover this. Onision tweeted about the Epstein files. I tweeted about the Epstein files. You have to cover it. Yeah, the Elmo account is obviously hacked. Elmo says all Jews should be Jews. That's what the Elmo account is saying now. Donald Trump is Netanyahu's puppet because he's in the Epstein files. Jews control the world and need to be exterminated. Are you guys happy? The Elmo account is not based, it turns out. I don't care about random Twitter accounts, man.
In 2019. A lot of people were visiting the island even after Epstein had pleaded guilty in 2008 and served jail time for procuring a minor for prostitution. If we keep following the data trail and we widen our view, we'll see that the tracking of visitors continues once they have left the island and presumably gone back home. The near intelligence data we uncovered pinpoints 166 locations throughout the United States in 80 cities across 26 states. Topping the list were Florida, Massachusetts, Texas, Michigan, and New York. The data points are labeled as common evening locations or common daytime locations, typically their homes or work. Many of the visitors were likely wealthy, as indicated by coordinates pointing to gated communities in Michigan, as well as homes in Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket in Massachusetts. We even have data points from a downtown Miami nightclub, and also the sidewalk across the street from Trump Tower.
0 Ohio, W Ohio? What do you mean? Les Wexner is like the #1 Ohioan. What are you talking about? If anything, Ohio is deeply compromised and directly connected to Jeffrey Epstein, given Les Wexner is like one of the top affiliates. Ohio is big time compromised here.
In New York City. Before we jump to conclusions, some sources have highlighted interactions between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein at social events. But after Epstein's 2008 conviction, there are no verified reports of Trump maintaining.
How do you remember he's from Ohio? Your brain is fascinating. Les Wexner, he owns Ohio. He's like outside of a deity-like figure like LeBron James. He's Ohio's biggest export, which I shouldn't even be mentioning in the same breath as Jeffrey Epstein, to be fair.
In a relationship with a convicted. Take a look at this point over here in New Mexico. This is a property that was owned by Epstein, a secluded 8,000 acres.
Yeah, this is the Zorro Ranch. This is the Zorro Ranch in New Mexico that I talked about. The Clintons would famously go to the Zorro Ranch quite frequently. The Clintons would go here all the time. Okay, they would use this ranch in New Mexico, Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, with regular frequency.
Ranch. Another property of Epstein's is seen over here on El Brio Way in Palm Beach, Florida. This waterfront mansion was sold, demolished, and is now being rebuilt. But it was where prosecutors claimed Epstein trafficked numerous underage girls with the intention of molesting and abusing them. But we don't just see the coordinates of wealthy homes.
Right up the street from Mar-a-Lago, by the way, where Jeffrey Epstein actually picked out his victims, famously.
Amongst the data. The median household income of Palm Beach is more than twice that of nearby communities where we also see data points. Some of these points could represent victims or employees who worked on the island, which is why we're careful about revealing names and continue to carefully analyze the data. If we zoom out more, we notice something strange. There are no data points anywhere in Europe. Does this mean it was strictly Americans visiting Jeffrey Epstein on his island? No. Points from the cache identifying origin cities in Australia, the Cayman Islands, and way over here in Kyiv in Ukraine. We know that Epstein himself had a place in Paris, and we know from victim testimony and flight logs that his associate, Jean-Luc Brunel, owner of a modeling agency in Paris, did visit the island. So why don't we see these data points?
Yeah, it's because the European Union actually offers tremendous data privacy to everyone, which is, you know, in this case, I guess technically a bad thing, but it is actually ultimately a very good thing.
possibility could be Europe's extensive privacy laws. Considered the strongest privacy and security law in the world, the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, gives Europeans robust rights to their personal data, even outside of Europe. Under comparatively lax US privacy laws, Near Intelligence was able to source its location data for this precision surveillance. To explain how this data might have been collected in the first place, we need to talk about the world of digital advertising and data brokers. The reason you get a targeted ad displayed on an app or a website is because apps on your phone have been transmitting information about you to ad exchanges and real-time bidding platforms. That information often includes your location data. Data brokers like Near Intelligence extract, repackage, analyze, and sell the data from these ad platforms. In fact,
dog, you guys are so primed to see a hashtag ad that you literally think a Wired.com, Wired magazine news report about data brokers is an ad. You guys are literally Pavlovian, dude. It is straight up like a Pavlovian response to hearing about private data brokers stealing your information. You're so mad that it was wrong? I don't know. I don't know why I have such a short fuse. Back in the day, I used to take a day off and then I would come back refreshed. Nowadays, when I take a day off, I come back pissed off because I'm like, man, that when I took a day off, shit felt awesome.
According to internal company documents from 2019, Near Intelligence, which has roots in Singapore and Bengaluru, India, claimed to have information on around 1.6 billion people in 44 countries. They offer a platform for searching that allows their clients to query their vast data set by drawing a box around a specific area like Little St. James.
Yeah, Jean-Luc Brunel, major Jeffrey Epstein affiliate, also died under mysterious circumstances as well. A lot of these guys, man, it's just like February 19th, 2022, at age 76, Jean-Luc Brunel, Epstein associate, was found dead in a Paris prison cell. But once again, must be a coincidence. Must be a coincidence. Yeah, and then this guy right on the money goes, why won't the whistleblowers come forward? I wonder why. I wonder why. There's just a major coincidence of a lot of these a lot of the direct affiliates just kind of mysteriously getting sad in prison. Brunel, co-founder of the French modeling agency Corinne Models and MC2 Model Management in the U.S. with funding from Epstein. He was detained at Paris's Charles de Gaulle airport in December 2020 as he was trying to board a flight to Senegal. His arrest was part of a French inquiry into sex trafficking and sexual assault allegations against Epstein, focusing on potential crimes committed against French victims and suspects who were French citizens. Prosecutors suspected Brunel of raping, sexually assaulting, and sexually harassing multiple minors and adults. They also suspected him of transporting and housing young girls or women for Jeffrey Epstein. Also, victims have come forward, yes.
Near then provides insights about the devices it observed within the selected area. We don't know who or why someone searched Epstein Island, but the reports and maps they created were sitting unprotected and totally searchable as publicly accessible code. And that's where we found them. And those aren't the only Near Intelligence datasets that we found. Google's web crawlers were able to locate at least 2 other reports, one geofencing the Westfield Mall in the Netherlands, and another targeting a park in El Paso, Texas. This is data unrelated to our investigation about Epstein Island, but it shows how unsafe personal data can be. In some cases, it's just a Google search away. So
okay, here's the ad. I wonder if it's the ad or not.
Pro tip, if you don't want your personal data swimming around in the murky waters of
now I'm thinking it's an ad. Jesus Christ. I'm broken.
Advertising, make sure you limit ad tracking on your phone, disable location services and third-party cookies, and use an ad blocker.
It's not
So what
even an
happened
ad.
to the island after Epstein reportedly
ad.
committed suicide in a Manhattan federal jail while awaiting trial for sex trafficking? Well, in May of 2023, billionaire investor Stephen Dieckhoff purchased both Little St. James and Great St. James for $60 million. He's currently building a luxury resort on Little St. James that he says could open as early as 2025. Also, Ghislaine Maxwell, former British socialite and Epstein accomplice, was convicted in 2021 on 5 counts, including sex trafficking of minors by force. Maxwell was arrested in Bradford, New Hampshire, tracked to a $1 million home by federal agents using location data pulled from her cell phone. I'm Dhruv Mehrotra. The Wired investigation into the secret data